Hello, in this presentation we're going to talk about rank advancement in the troop. So when we talk about rank advancement goals, one thing that should be thought about is it more about speed to advancement or knowledge of trail to first class skills? And in our troop we focus on the knowledge of the skills. One could easily go through the process of just checking off boxes and say they've completed something. But it's most important to know the skills very well so that when they are needed, you're able to provide those to someone in need. So enjoy the journey, not look at the destination. However, do set realistic goals for yourself. Some goals that we think about in terms of the trail to first class advancement is someone should probably target a rank advancement on trail to first class at each court of honor. So for scouts crossing over in February, that would be scout rank in maybe 30 to 45 days, and by the June court of honor, tenderfoot rank by October court of honor, second class by the following February court of honor, and then first class by the following June court of honor. That would be about a 15-month time frame, which is very much reasonable for reaching first class. Many years ago, under the old requirements, someone said, hey, you could get it done in 12 months. And that was possible. Some do it sooner, some take longer. But the importance is learning the skills so that those can be applied in your future scouting journey. So no matter when that rank advancement takes place, you would be recognized at the regular meeting for that rank advancement, as well as at the court of honor. When you get to Star, Life, and Eagle goals, that's discussed with the Scoutmaster, and we set realistic goals around that as well. Always know that every scout is going to work at their own pace. So some will move faster, some will move slower, and that's perfectly fine. Some have conflicts with sports or other activities, and that may take them a little bit longer, and that's perfectly fine. But the important thing is, again, to know the skills as opposed to just memorizing and getting a checkbox to move on in rank. So let's talk a bit about Cub Scouts versus Boy Scouts. So in Cub Scouts, the motto was do your best, and sometimes credit was given on attempts. In Boy Scouts, it's be prepared, and that means to be practicing to where you're proficient in a skill to get it signed off. And then quite frankly, to continue nurturing that skill going forward so that you always have that in your back pocket. In Cub Scouts, a lot of things are den leader managed, so the den leader will plan the event, they will sign off on the requirements, etc. With Boy Scouts, that is scout managed. So the scout's responsible for knowing and following the steps to get sign off, completing it, and finding the appropriate youth leaders to sign off. In Cub Scouts, parents assist a lot. Parents work with the scouts quite a bit to complete the requirements, and oftentimes they can contact the leader and say, yep, my son's completed this. In Boy Scouts, parents should encourage, they should remind the scouts that they need to do something or ask them what they need to do to rank up. Encourage them and let them learn the responsibility of taking that on themselves as opposed to the parent doing it. So for example, the scout should be going out and setting appointments to meet with people for Scoutmaster Conference and Board of Reviews, and we'll touch on that later, as opposed to the parent doing it. So let the scout learn the responsibility through the process, and that's how they will grow and be future leaders. Who can sign off on requirements? Senior patrol leader, assistant senior patrol leaders, troop guides, patrol leaders, assistant patrol leaders, and occasionally an adult will sign off if we're doing a larger activity. But again, we focus on these youth have these responsibilities. These youth leaders are responsible for helping other scouts advance. So they need to have that responsibility for sign off as well. When does the sign off take place? Well, we have a skills training in the spring, typically a Saturday in March for all of the new scouts that come over as part of the crossover. So that's a great opportunity to get many things signed off and to learn the skills. Also, the Trail to First Class is before every meeting. And then we also have some special events such as hikes for orienteering or swim check for summer camp so they can get all their swim requirements taken care of. But keep in mind, probably the best time is the Trail to First Class, which takes place from 6:40 to 7:20 before every regular Monday meeting. When a scout is ready to have something signed off, be prepared. So there are requirements that are set each week, and they should be prepared for those as well as any others that they want addressed. So a scout should be looking through their book and identifying which ones that they can attain the next meeting and set a goal of 2 to 3 each week. And then look at what it's asking for. So if something says explain or describe, that means you're going to talk about it. If it says demonstrate or show, that means you're going to do something. You're physically going to demonstrate something or show something. So keep in mind that if something says demonstrate and you think it's just going to be talking, that's not the case. So some requirements will need to be done at home as well. So as you get into second and first class requirements, there's a requirement about identifying an amount of money that you want to spend on something and then doing some chores to save up that money and then deciding if you want to spend it on that item or not. Those are things that can be done at home. There's also some of the physical fitness stuff that can be done through school, through PE. So look at the scout requirements and identify what you can do and where you can do it. And some of that can be done and then reported back to the youth leaders. Finally, a permanent record. So the scout book is what you physically have, but we want to put that into Troopmaster. Troopmaster is our permanent record, is the computer, okay? It's the software there that maintains all the information. So in the event that you were to lose your scout handbook, or it washes down the river or falls off a cliff or something, we still have that permanent record, and then you don't have to repeat those things again. This is also updated to the website so scouts, parents, and leaders can see the progress that you're making. At the end of every Trail to First Class, so that time period between 7:20 and 7:30 at night before we start the meeting, if you've gotten requirements signed off, hand those over to the computer guy at the meeting room. Those achievements are then put into Troopmaster. It's uploaded to the website, and you'll be able to see those in a couple of days. And at any point, if you want to see your progress, if you look at the bottom here, you can simply go to our website, t285.us, look at Troop Roster, Scout, find your name in the list of scouts, click on your rank, and it will show what you've achieved and what still needs to be achieved. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, please let us know.